We're just playing basketball. It's not like we're going out to have unprotected sex with Magic.
Why on earth did you decide to say that now?
Charles Barkley said that, and I'm saying this. Welcome to High and Low. Good day and good night. Welcome to the High and Low Basketball Podcast. This is episode number 100 and stack, aka episode number 142. 42 is the number worn by the man they call Stack, North Carolina's very own Jerry Stackhouse. Let us never forget this man. Third overall in the 95 draft after a short but stellar college career as a Tar Heel and teammate of Rasheed Wallace. And Stack was actually named National Player of the Year right before going to the NBA. He continued playing at a high level in the league, peaking in Detroit in 2001, where he averaged 29.8 points per game. Stack was a beast in any jersey that he put on. He played for many teams, actually. Carried that over to his successful coaching career. You know, he was an assistant in Toronto, head coach of the Raptors D-League franchise, leading them to a championship. And nowadays, Stack is a college head coach at Vanderbilt.
Did you hear that?
Anyway, my name is Ike Amaechi, and today I'm joined by Ugo, the Sheik. And around here, we live by a principle governed by the high and low lives of the world, which means we talk about basketball, especially and specifically the NBA. And we talk about it at any time, anywhere, north, south, east, west, high, and low. This week on the show, we're talking about the NBA All-Star selections. We're talking about NBA All-Star selections, period, and how much it actually means to a player. We'll get into that, though. We're also getting into a bit of casting, looking at NBA stars and the roles in movies and TV shows they were born to play. Stay tuned for that. That's a fun conversation. So really, honestly, stay tuned for that. Before we lock in, let's check in. As mentioned, got Ugo the Sheik. It's back at the table for a second week in a row. Are you still thinking about Jamaica, or has the cold weather erased all memory of your trip?
Oh, cold weather cannot erase those memories. Honestly, I came back and I woke up and I was all excited to have breakfast buffet and realized, shoot, I gotta make my own breakfast now. Like it's something's not right. Something's definitely not right. Anyway, I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure out a way I can get buffet at least 3 times a day and not have to cook squat. And I can chill by the beach or by the pool in 28-degree weather. So let's go global warming.
Or you could just make $1 billion and just have people paid.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, crypto. I'll start my own crypto. Oh, you want to invest?
I'm good.
Who wants to invest? Everyone want to invest? Yo, Steven, I know you'll invest.
That question is like maybe 18 months too late.
Damn. I was going to start like LeBron coin or Laker coin or something like that. La coin or something. I don't know.
La coin.
Shoot.
All right, you work on that.
He'll invest.
You were. Anyway, Ugo, I appreciate your time this week. Thank you for joining me, listeners. Thank you for joining us for yet another installment of the program. Another week, another episode, more NBA, some more high and low. This week in NBA history, it was all about the blind dunk. But first, we go to upstate New York on February 6th, 1970, where the city of Buffalo was granted an NBA franchise to be called the Braves. Buffalo would enjoy their status as an NBA city for 8 years before their owner, John Y. Brown Jr., love that name, before he would pull off the trade of all trades and swap franchises with Celtics owner Irv Levin. Irv Levin would then move the team to San Diego in 1978 and then rename them the Clippers. I know I've shared this before, but it's such a strange story. I mean, basically, Irv Levin wanted a shorter commute to work, but moving the Celtics to California was completely out of the question for the league. So he fleeced himself and traded one of the most valuable teams in the league for a franchise that had only been in existence for 8 years. And now Buffalo has no franchise. In fact, they've actually called their AAA baseball club the Buffalo Braves. So the Braves still exist, but just in a different sport. Anyway, February is usually the month of NBA All-Star festivities, and on February 8th, 1992, Phoenix Suns guard Cedric Ceballos, remember that guy? Well, he won the Nestle Crunch Slam Dunk Contest in Orlando with his Hocus Pocus dunk, a dunk in which he was blindfolded by his teammate Dan Marley, Thunder Dan Marley, and he counts his steps from the basket to Thunder Dan at half court, then runs from the spot at half court, no dribbles, and then he dunks the ball with two hands blindfolded. Now, at the moment, the crowd went nuts, including Magic Johnson, who was providing commentary that night. But looking back, the clips are on YouTube. Just watch it. We all know that blindfold was see-through. It was see-through.
It was all about pantyhose, man. It was pantyhose, man. Of course you could see through it. Listen, I get the whole dunk contest, the theatrics, but you know what completely let me say this is BS? All the tiny steps before he dunked.
Yes.
Right? Because that only happens if you can actually see the rim and you know that you need to do a little bunch of tiny steps to be able to then jump to actually pull off the dunk, right? So to me, I was just kind of like, guy, man, you didn't do this blindfold. You didn't count the steps. You didn't do none of that stuff, It's just whatever.
Exactly. It was all theatrics, all drama, and hey, you know what? Everyone ate it up. But as impressive as that dunk seemed at the time, it was definitely not the first. It was not the first blind dunk. See, on February 9th, 1991, Boston Celtics 21-year-old rookie Dee Brown pulled off a blind dunk in Charlotte, a first in NBA history. He called it his peekaboo dunk. Now, there are a few things to note about this particular dunk contest. First, defending champ Dominique Wilkins, one of the greatest dunkers of all time, well, he missed this one. He sat this dunk contest out. So, therefore, a new crop of rising stars came to play. Kenny Smith, yes, that Kenny inside the NBA, Kenny the Jet Smith, he pulled out the type of inventive moves that had him going head-to-head with Dominique in the finals the year before. Yes, a dunk contest finals with Dominique Wilkins. Rex Chapman, who played for the hometown Hornets, came out with some crazy alley-oop dunks no one had ever seen before. Dee Brown, who was a last-minute entry, well, he showcased the greatest sneaker promo in NBA history and basically became a star overnight because of it. And he also sparked a sneaker war. See, before each dunk, Dee Brown would reach down and pump his Reebok Pump Omni Zone 2s, and everyone noticed. All the way to the finals against Sean Kemp. Yes, Sean Kemp from last week. And he would seal the contest with his peekaboo dunk, which is essentially like he just jumped from the hash marks, and, it was a lean, and then he kind of tucked his head in his arm, in his elbow, and just looked down as he dunked. It was actually more of a legitimate blind dunk than Cedric Ceballos. Very nice dunk. I think he got a 49, something close to a 50. I think like a 49.5 or 49.6 for that dunk. But it was enough for him to win the dunk contest. Just pure showmanship. In fact, the Reebok pumps after that became the best-selling shoe that year, with Dee Brown as the face of the brand. Some people think that he was signed to Reebok because of his performance, but the truth is, Dee Brown had signed to Reebok when he first arrived in Boston. He says that, Reebok was based in Boston, and he felt that, they would take care of him a little bit better than Nike would. And well, speaking of Nike, he said, Dee Brown says he ran into Michael Jordan soon after he won the dunk contest, and Jordan, of course, congratulated him on the win, and then told him he was going to kick his ass on and off the court now, just because of the shoe war that he started.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan is such a legend. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, congratulations. You cannot be better than me in shoes, too. No, I need that. I'm going to kick you. Love it. That's a little something for the NBA history nerds. Things are certainly happening in the NBA today, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about something important.
We have a question, actually, from a listener. This one just came in, actually. Shoot, I forgot to mention this to you, Ugo. But
hot off the presses.
Let's see. Let's see if you can answer this one hot off the presses. This one is from Jamo in Durham, North Carolina. His question is this: what's more important, NBA All-Star selections or All NBA selections?
Wow. Okay. So
I can answer this and let you think.
Okay. No. You answer, then I'll give my rebuttal because I'm going to disagree with you anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Durham. Got family in North Carolina, so it's my favorite Carolina. Also, Little Brother is from North Carolina, one of the greatest rap groups of all time. That's another podcast. Let's answer Jamo's question. All NBA for sure, definitely more important. All-Star selections are basically based on popularity, voted by fans, while the All-NBA selections are voted by media. And the media, they get meticulous about player stats, performance, impact. You've got advanced stats. To me, the gap in importance is huge between all NBA and All-Star. It's like, I don't know, would you rather win League MVP or All-Star MVP? That's the equivalent to me. And also, All-Star Weekend is an exhibition. It's a trade show. It's like a marketing campaign. It's for fans. All NBA is for players. So that's my answer.
Okay, that's a good answer. I was going to go along those lines. So I hesitate to say more important, and this is the angle that I'm going to come from. When it comes to contract negotiations, does not All-Star selections matter at that point? All-Star, being an MVP, being selected, all of that stuff does come into play when it comes down to the contract. And I think as it comes down to the contract, I don't know, and maybe this is where I get a little subjective, I think it might be on par with All NBA.
Oh.
Now, All NBA, you definitely get more respect for it, But All-Star selections, like if you're no All NBA, but you get an All-Star selection, you can still use that as a chip to get that bag from a franchise to say, hey, listen, I'm an All-Star. I got voted. I was liked by a lot of people. I can help your marketing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So that's the only caveat that I'll put in there with it. Now, guaranteed that as a player, of course you want to be All NBA, right? Before All-Star. I mean, I think I'll throw some shade, but it might be a little bit of ignorant shade. Has Dame been on any All NBA teams yet?
He has.
Maybe we'll have our stats people take. He has? Okay. I know he's been to some All-Stars, but I don't know about the All NBA. Oh, no, wait. Maybe it's the All-Stars he hasn't gone to, because I remember the one year he cried. Anyway.
No,
maybe Dame's not the best example.
Six times. All NBA. 6 times.
Really? That guy? Okay. Well, I screwed up my shade on that one. Sorry, Steven. I tried. Either way. Anyway, I still go back to my original point about it matters on the contracts, but as a respect, yes, obviously you'd be way more respected for being on All NBA because that's something that you're gauged upon your peers completely, whereas All-Star is basically a popularity contest. But you got to be good to be popular too. So
it's true.
1 year for All-Star, I would just love to see them vote in somebody who has no business being in there. You know what I mean? Like, I know every once in a while that you'll hear these little stories about like, oh my goodness, player X who hasn't played but is a fan favorite in this country. All the people over there voted for him. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, but he's never going to start. But I just would love to see a situation where like he's like somebody would start or be a captain over somebody else, because they opened up the voting worldwide, right? And they tweaked it because of that. They made the percentages, like the fan votes only 25%, right? But I would just love to see a season where it's just like everybody colludes and says, okay, we're going to vote in like, I don't know, like who's still in the NBA, who's an old dog. Anyway, some old ass player, right? That has no business. Like let's say Carmelo Anthony, right? Let's vote Carmelo in just for the sake of it.
Udonis Haslem.
Perfect, right there. Right there, right? Let's say we're going to vote this guy in. He's going to be a captain, and he's going to pick the teams. And everybody's going to like, how did this happen? Let me see Silver step in and say, like, yeah, sorry, you can't be a captain.
Like, we need to rework
So,
this
yeah.
entire system. This process is broken. Again, Jamo, thank you for your question. Shout out to you. Shout out to North Carolina. Just a quick reminder to High and Low Lives. If you want to leave a question for us to answer on the show, drop a DM on TikTok at More High and Low, Instagram at Get High and Low. Those links are always in the show notes. It feels like a good time to take a break, so let's put this segment in a lake full of sulfuric acid with nothing but a little canoe, no paddle, no wind. When we come back, we're putting players in the movies. We'll be right back with More High and Low. This moment is brought to you by High and Low listeners and sponsored by Kyrie Irving's one-way ticket to Dallas, Texas. This week, we asked you to share your top 5 teams in the league right now, your High and Low power rankings, if you will. Aleem in Toronto, Canada, shared his list, starting with Luka and Kyrie's Dallas Mavericks at number 5. Perhaps a little premature. We'll see. Aleem has the Sixers at 4, Giannis and his Bucks at 3, Jokic and MPJ and their Denver Nuggets at 2, and the number 1 team on Aleem's list of top teams right now is the Boston Celtics. Yes. So Aleem in Toronto, I appreciate your list. Thank you. Appreciate you. Now let's get back to the show. And we are back. I'm Ike Amaechi, and I'm here with Ugo the Sheik, formerly the Iron Sheik. But you're getting back there. Don't worry, man. You'll always be the Iron Sheik in mine.
Of course. I had that streak. Ain't nobody touching that streak, man. Come on.
Exactly, man. So if you've listened to this show for a while, you know that I love music as much as I love basketball. You know, we all love music. Ugo loves music. It's the reason you hear the music integrated into the show. I'm also a big movie and TV guy. I love television. I love movies. Love watching them, which is why you hear those little drops from like classic films, classic TV shows every week on this show. I don't know. Maybe I'll find some free time to make a movie of my own. For now, I'll watch and enjoy just like billions of people do daily. Now, when I'm watching a movie or a TV show, I enjoy good character development. It adds so many different layers and dimensions to the story. A good story can entertain, and a good story is nothing without good characters. And it kind of reminds me of the NBA. We love watching the game, but the unique personalities of players, the characters that we have in this league have only enhanced the experience. You know, we read about the storylines, the antics happening behind the scenes, and we're enthralled just like we would be with any good movie, which is why we're bringing both worlds together on this episode. We're picking NBA stars and matching them with films or TV shows that they, as characters, would have been perfect for. Now, we're not talking about these players as actors. That's a different thing altogether. We're talking about the personalities of these players, like their temperament, their disposition, things like that. And we're matching them with characters in movies we have, or TV shows that we've all watched or heard of. So let's get started. Ugo, you want to start it off?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with this one particular person from this one particular show. And truth be told, I only saw one episode of this show because it just happened to show up somewhere on my TV set.
Oh my goodness!
This is gonna be a good one. So I went with Kevin. I went with Kevin Durant, and the TV show is Billy the Kid. Now, I don't know if you've seen this show. It's actually quite interesting. So it's actually Billy the Kid, much older, and there are people that are looking for him, but he sort of dropped the Billy the Kid name. So, you know, there's I believe his son was suspicious that he was Billy the Kid. So anyway, these dudes come up looking for him and shoot and kill his brother, and then he goes back to being Billy the Kid and just uses his guns and shoot him up, right? So the reason why I say this is KD because it's like he's much older. We seem to have forgotten about him, aside from the drama that he caused over the summer. But this season, my man's been a shooter, right? He's been lighting it up, at least when healthy. He's been lighting it up pretty good. So that's my loose comparison there. KD equals Billy the Kid.
Oh, how am I completely in the dark with this Billy the Kid
Yeah,
show?
I randomly saw it, and I've never seen it again.
What?
So, yeah, I hope it's a
When
TV show.
it,
I'm pretty sure it was.
it probably is, man. Because when you're explaining it, I immediately thought of there was a film that came out like it was a while ago, probably like 15 years ago right now. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. So
Mm-hmm.
but you're talking about Billy the Kid. I was just thinking Jesse James,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a good movie actually. But Billy the Kid, okay, I'm gonna check it out, man. But KD,
Yeah,
I like that comparison.
yeah,
I like that
yeah.
comparison, man. I went with a movie here. I'm not sure if you've heard of the film called Banshees of Inisherin. Probably not.
Oof. I saw a trailer. That's with Colin Farrell and
And Brandon Gleeson. Yeah.
yeah, some other dude. I don't know. I just know Colin Farrell's in it.
Well, Banshees of Inisherin, directed by Martin McDonagh, who also made a personal favorite of mine called In Bruges, also starring Colin Farrell and Brandon Gleeson, who are the stars of Banshees of Inisherin. In Banshees, they play two lifelong friends who come to a crossroads when one of them, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of the blue, just doesn't want to be friends anymore. It's like they're done. Just one day, it's like we're not friends anymore. And there are some alarming and surprisingly violent consequences. But it's a great film. Great film. It's up for Best Picture at the Oscars this year. Brandon Gleeson's character is the one who doesn't feel like being friends anymore. I see Jay Crowder in that role. Maybe maybe it's because of how he's decided not to play for the Suns anymore. He just never showed up for training camp, hasn't stepped foot in Phoenix all season, just doesn't want to be a Phoenix Sun anymore. He's like, I'm out, I'm done. I mean, he's put the Suns in a really bad position. I mean, they're shopping him around, you know, and they're basically working from a deficit because every GM in the league knows that Jay Crowder doesn't want to be in Phoenix anymore. So there goes your leverage. The Suns have been left kind of holding the bag. They're waiting for the best offer that'll probably be less than what the market would have given them under different circumstances. So there it is. Jay Crowder. He's a banshee of Inisherin.
I thought he was hurt. I didn't know he was holding out. all this
That's
time,
what he told him.
I don't know. All this time, I was like, man, this guy must have been hurt. I haven't heard nothing from him. I didn't know he was holding out. And then this movie. So basically, dude want to unfriend another dude, and crap goes down.
Yeah, basically it is it's like an old-fashioned version of unfriending someone on Facebook or unfollowing someone on TikTok or Instagram. And then the person's just like, "Hey, why are you unfollowing me?" I don't know, just don't like watching your content anymore. What? Why? Where did this come from? You love my stuff. You always like it. You always make comments. What are you talking about, man?
Sounds like a situation with my ex. I'm just not gonna tell you which one. Damn.
All right, you guys, what's next?
What's next on your list?
Okay, so this next one, I'm gonna go a little bit into the strange world. This is a show that my daughter and I have been watching consistently. It's kind of our thing to do. So I'm gonna say my boy Ja Morant is the lead character in this show called Wednesday. All right. Yeah. Now he's trying. He's Wednesday. He's trying to figure out this mystery. You know, there's people he can't trust. His squad can't beat the West Coast. You know what I mean? Even though they dominate against the East Coast. You know, he's got some best friend that got eaten up by some monster. You know, pick any sidekick character from there. But he's trying to figure out
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, whoever, right? He's trying to figure out, you know, this mystery of why his team can't be as good as they say they are and win the championship, right? And at the same time, he's ruffling feathers, asking too many questions, acting like he knows everything, but he just doesn't know who he can trust. But he definitely wants to solve this mystery because he thinks it'll solve everything and every single problem in their town. Yeah, that's what I'm going with, man. Draw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wednesday. I love it.
And he's got moves on the court like Wednesday on the dance floor. And if you haven't seen her dance, go and YouTube it right now. I got my kids doing the same thing at home.
I've seen it. I've seen it,
Man.
and I was just like, "Wow, this is definitely something different, man."
Yeah. But surprisingly good.
It is.
Like
It's weird how good it is.
My kids do it, and I just look at them, and I'm like, okay, it's probably gonna be a TikTok dance now. Do the Wednesday, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's what I went with.
Nice. This next one here is this LeBron James.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'm just gonna jump right into it. LeBron.
Okay.
He is Maverick in Top Gun Maverick.
Ah, okay.
The old head, the former wonderkind, now the grizzled veteran, dropped into the middle of a group of young bucks who scoff at his mythology, his legend, just like Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick, who gets called back to lead a group of young naval aviators on an impossible mission. LeBron's here leading his Lakers squad on a near impossible mission to win a title. And he has just enough left in the tank, in his bag of tricks, to show these NBA young boys why he's the second greatest player of all time. But yeah, LeBron James is Maverick.
This is egregious. Do you hear me? Egregious!
Not Maverick Carter. That's another Maverick. That's his other
Maverick.
friend. Just Maverick. Just Maverick.
He's the one that married Adele, right? They're still married? Right?
I think that's Rich Paul.
Oh, is it Rich Paul? Oh, okay. I'm confusing my LeBron associates.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rich Paul. I don't even know. Did they get married? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's another podcast altogether.
Yeah, I don't even care. just like who Pete's dating. Don't even care.
Okay, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more stunt casting. Hi and low listeners, if you happen to be in the Toronto area on the day after Valentine's Day and you're down for a good belly laugh, check out the Side Chick comedy show featuring a bunch of funny women, hosted by Kevin Christopher. Tickets are available on comedybar.ca. I'll put that link in the show notes. That's the Side Chick comedy show on February 15th, 2023. Now let's get back to the conversation. And we are back. This is High and Low. I'm Ike Amaechi. I'm here with Ugo the Sheik. Last movie, last player, or last TV show, I should say. Last movie, last TV show, last player, before we call it an episode. So who do you have as your last player, Ugo?
So this one will be a bit of a stretch. But I'm going to go with Steph Curry. And I'm going to associate him with the movie Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm going to do that, at first I was going to go with a TV show, but I said, no, let me go with this movie. So, spoiler alert, I don't know if anybody's watched this movie, but going into the movie, I was very curious as to how is this going to work with the lead character gone, right? And, Curry, as much for the season, or a good chunks of the season, has been missing or absent or injured. When he's played awesome. So much like the Warriors, they've had a couple of other people sort of step up, fade down, step up, get killed, like certain characters in the movie. I call Jordan Poole Namor. Yeah, Namor. Yeah, he's Namor. Yeah, he's Namor. Just because he wants to be all pretty and he has a cool power that, he can literally, do what he needs to do and whatever he wants to do on the court. He's better than everybody else in Wakanda.
Interesting.
So yeah, and just I'm just hoping for the Warriors that they have some form of resolution at the end of this season, because right now they're in a weird place in the standings. They're too good to be where they are, but not good enough to be at the top. And much like that movie, somehow everything turned out all right in the end. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
everything turned out. And there was a pleasant surprise at the end. So maybe with the Warriors, I'm expecting a pleasant surprise, like maybe sneaking in another championship and putting Curry above LeBron in some way, shape, or form as greatest player of all time.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Listen, we had a conversation in the chat during the week about top 10 players. Mm-hmm. And I think Curry was in a couple of lists already. Mm-hmm. Now, putting him above LeBron, that's controversial. If he wins another championship.
If he wins another championship, the argument is there, right? People can say stats, but really, I don't even know if you want to call it the LeBron era anymore. If he gets one more, it might be the Curry era.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
Just saying. Just like people like to argue Jordan and LeBron. Well, LeBron's going to get it the other way around with Curry too. So, it is what it is. When you the king, you better be king. Better not lose to a guy how many times?
Come at the king.
Yeah, come at the king. Best not miss.
Omar, rest in peace.
Hey, by the way, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Meh. It's mid.
Yeah, I agree. But not to go down the rabbit hole, but I don't think this was the movie that they wanted.
It wasn't.
Right? It wasn't. No. It was the movie that they got, which wasn't bad for what happened, but it's not the movie that they... Because don't forget, he was supposed to be the flagship character for Marvel right after Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man is... I don't know if he's really dead, but not there, based upon the multiverse.
Oh, he did.
Always come back.
That's true.
Multiverse. They could just bring back another version of it. But anyway, long story short, he was supposed to take over the mantle. So it's basically ruined Marvel Phase 4, which I don't want to say ruined because the man died, but it's basically just thrown Phase 4 for a loop, right? Yeah. So now they're
Chadwick Boseman for those.
Yes. Rest in peace, Chadwick. He was a good one. But it's just anyway. We're going into a different space. It's Curry, Wakanda Forever.
So my last one here is this: Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's another Oscar-nominated movie I'm picking here. And in my opinion, it was the best film of 2022. And it should win the Oscar for Best Picture. But that's for another type of podcast. This film, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, it's a unique concept about the immigrant experience, the multiverse, and hot dog fingers. You got to watch it to understand what that means. So the story focuses on a middle-aged Chinese immigrant played by Michelle Yeoh. You may know her from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Oh, I love that movie. And she falls into this hero's journey where she has to save the universe by traveling through the multiverse and connecting with other versions of herself, which exposes her to the other lives that she could have led. And so you get a lot of that, regret and loss and what could have been, what would have been, and she's actually experiencing it firsthand. This is Luka Doncic. First of all, on the surface, Luka has to do everything and be everywhere on the court. And it probably feels like it all has to happen all at once for the Mavs to have a chance at competing every night. But I have to imagine Luka dreaming of what it would be like to play next to Nikola Jokic and MPJ in Denver, maybe Giannis in Milwaukee, maybe even Domantas Sabonis in Sacramento. That would be an upgrade from what he's experiencing right now. All of these possibilities is flashing before his eyes, like Michelle Yeoh's multiple lives as she tries to save the universe, just like Luka's trying to save his own sanity right now in Dallas. But Luka perfect for everything, everywhere, all at once. That's my pick.
Okay. I had a secret crush on Michelle Yeoh back in the day, too.
I am paying attention.
Any other mentions? Any other quick also rans? Anyone you were thinking about?
I was going to say something about the Raptors, but I don't think there's any movie that describes the foolishness that they're going through. Maybe Nope. Just Nope.
Nope.
What's going to happen with you guys this year? You're going to go to the playoffs? Nope. You're going to win the championship? Nope. You're going to make a trade? Nope. OG going to play? Nope.
When the Raptors are up by 5 with 2 minutes left and they're looking at a win, it's like they always say, nope, we don't want this one. Nope. We're going to give this one away.
Nope.
There you go.
Nope. You're gonna trade Freddie, or you're gonna keep him? Don't know. Nope. You gonna let him go? Nope. What about Gary Trent Jr.? Nope. Let him go. It's all nope for those guys this year, man. It's just honestly, like, the only thing that makes, and this is not Raptors podcast, I'm just happy for Siakam. They're finally not blaming him for all the woe is me in Toronto. He's finally been like the one guy that everybody's saying, okay, yeah, it's not your fault this time, right? Or at least the last 2 years, it hasn't been his fault. He's been balling.
Yeah. It's top 30 player. Top 30.
Stop it. Top 15.
Nope. All right. I really came close to talking about Anthony Davis, but it's too on the nose, man. Anthony Davis as Mr. Glass from Unbreakable and Glass. It's just, it's just there. It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, too easy.
You mentioned John Morant. I was gonna talk about John Morant, but John Morant and the Grizzlies. I was going to compare them to the German army and All Quiet on the Western Front. That's a new film on Netflix. They're just bigging up their chest like champs, but they just keep catching those L's in the West like chumps. And we all know how World War I turned out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. They didn't learn their lesson the second time around, too.
Nope.
Nope. We might have to have a nope episode.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to, man. I like that.
Why the f*** I can't shoot 3-point shots?
All right. So that brings us to the end of this episode of High and Low. Thank you, Ugo the Sheik. Subscribe to High and Low anywhere you find podcasts and make us a part of your weekly routine. You know where to find us. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. The links to all of that, all of those, all of them, it's all in the show notes. So where can listeners find you, Ugo? Did you find out what your Instagram?
Yeah, you know what?
Instagram
I just remembered. I forgot that last week, and I forgot it this week too. And I'm on that thing too. Wait, hold on. Let me see. What is this supposed to be?
At the Decepticon,
thirsty?
or is it?
Am I thirsty?
It's not thirsty.
No.
No.
Thirsty Villain?
The Decepticon. The Decepticon.
I'm pretty sure it was Thirsty Villain. Yeah, you can get me at Thirsty Villain. Anybody out there who thinks that they're smarter than me on basketball, definitely send me some DMs. I'll take that challenge and make you look stupid. Russ is an all-time top 5 player in the NBA, and he should be respected like that. And the Raptors suck, so come at me. Thirsty Villain.
Wow.
Come at me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it here first. Oof. Wow.
Not afraid of nobody.
Maybe get some screenshots of your DMs when that heat starts rising.
For sure. And I'll diss your mama.
Wow. Okay, let's once again, music is by Live for the Enjoy Music Group. You can find Live on Twitter and on Instagram at LYVE. Additional music is by Sonny Rockwell of The Goodness. Sonny Rockwell of The Goodness. Can't find that guy anywhere. Believe me, I've tried. Sound design is by Vonn August. This is a Vonn+Abrahamm podcast, just in case you didn't know. So on behalf of Ugo the Sheik, I'm Ike Amaechi. Thank you for listening to High and Low, and we'll talk to you next week.
Charles Barkley said your mama ugly. And she's from San Antonio.